Who the fuck are you?
Death.
What in fuck do you even do after a movie as spine-snappingly sociopathic as Death Wish 3? If you continue in that vein, Death Wish 5 would have featured a 70-year-old Charles Bronson karate chap and Klingon drug cartels on the fucking moon. It follows then, with Michael Winner at long last abdicating the director's throne. Death Wish 4, The Crackdown, represents a transparent attempt to realign the series with its former artistic repute. But here's the thing. It's still made by Canon fucking Films. And Canon Films and artistic credulity go together like roller skating rinks and grenade launchers. Which, incidentally, is exactly what Charles Bronson combines in Death Wish fucking 4. In the years following the Bronson massacre, Paul Kersey has settled back down somewhere nice and quiet, like LA, the city where his daughter was raped, murdered, and fucking impaled. On account of the fact that he's Paul fucking Kersey, he's naturally been boinking a woman who was born the day he qualified for Social Security.
I deserve free money!
But she's got a loopy daughter who draws buildings or something? Look, I'm gonna level with you here. From the moment this chick is introduced, there is a flashing neon sign hovering above that Aquanet coral reef that reads, "Plot device related demise," in neon fucking pink letters. It's probably better for all of us if we don't take too acute an interest in her extracurricular hobbies. She enjoys powdering her nose from the inside, a fact I'm sure she's hiding sufficiently for most human beings, but Charles Bronson, as we all know, is fucking omnipotent. God damn it, 2 more people I have to kill. But apart from the odd drug habit, things are going swimmingly in the Shoulder Pads estate.
I was just worried about Erica. I feel toward her like she were my own daughter.
That's nice. She feels the same way about you. So do I.
And I love you both.
And you're dead. Or at least the daughter is, not 5 seconds after a fateful meeting with her toolbox boyfriend and the USS Voyager security officer. If there's one thing Bronson can't stand, it's a death that he didn't have a direct hand in causing. He tails the toolbox boyfriend back to the pusher who gave her the spiked cocaine to begin with, who shanks the ever-living shit out of him. And then, shit gets Death Wish. Hey! Now that's how you cook Mexican. The police, who, as per Canon Films' logic, are perpetually no less than 20 minutes late to the event, comb the area for witnesses, but only manage to turn up the final 3 digits of Bronson's license plate number.
Yeah?
This kid saw the guy who did the shooting, not his face, but the car he drove away in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get the license.
It's 226.
You sure that's all you remember?
Man, I ain't a fucking detective, man. You are.
Nice kid.
Oh, why am I so happy about homicide? Bronson, meanwhile, heads back to his fortress of manslaughter and discovers he isn't alone. He knows I'm death?
Who is this?
I think we should meet. If you'll take a look out your window, you'll see a limousine parked out front.
He takes the free limo ride to the home of an eccentric billionaire newspaper magnate with a request that's right up Bronson's murder alley.
I want you to kill someone for me. My daughter Lisa became my whole life.
Things were going wonderfully well.
Then suddenly everything changed.
Like my accent. Turns out Rupert Murdoch over here had a daughter die of a drug overdose too, and now he's throwing some of those astronomical, dwindling circulation newspaper dollars into killing the shit out of the mafiosos that sold it to her. And by killing, I mean hiring Bronson to kill every Italian-American in the state of California. To date, Paul Kersey has been Batman, Callista Flockhart, and of course his final form, Charles fucking Bronson. But Death Wish 4 sees the birth of a lesser-known aspect of Paul Kersey, the original Agent 47.
Ed Zacharias grew up in New York's South Bronx slum tenements. Took to the streets running errands for the mob when he was 12.
Your assignment is to eliminate Vladimir Zupikov. There is a party tonight at the embassy, and loads of glitterati and socialites. A perfect cover for your assignment. So wear a tux.
In full hitman mode, Bronson disguises himself as a waiter, locates the drug lord's telecommunications device, and makes his phones buggier than Battlefield 4. When Cosby Sweater shows up and unceremoniously drops a duplicitous lieutenant, Bronson apparently cuts a fart and gives away his position in the closet. Don't even think it, shitbag. Bronson is beyond straight. He's a human fucking T-square.
Like I said, I don't like trouble.
And on that note, I'll go fuck with Charles Bronson.
If you keep your mouth shut about this, you can make yourself some money.
Yeah, right. I don't know nothing.
Hey, at least he's practicing for Alzheimer's. He helps this loopy fucking Ginzo haul the body away, prompting the hitman to pull the double cross, whereupon we're introduced to the cardinal rule of Death Wish number 2. Never let Bronson anywhere the fuck near a goddamn crowbar. With an inside line into the Cosby Sweater Syndicate, it's time to do some death wishing. The good news, Bronson elects to take the subtle route. The better news, Bronson's version of subtlety involves high-grade explosive. Charles Bronson will be your wine steward for the evening. His selection is a dry C4, busy but never precocious. And to answer your reflexive query, yes, that is Danny Trejo. Yes, he just laid hands on Charles Bronson. And no, he will not survive his mistake.
What the hell?
After a quick jaunt to an archaic structure Wikipedia informs me is called a video store to commit quadruple homicide, Kersey breaks into the apartment of a mob enforcer and his fierce mustache. Unfortunately, the hairspray fumes coming off his gal pal force him to retreat back to his meat loft prematurely.
Come on out, asshole.
It's at this point we unearth yet another of Bronson's multifarious superpowers. The ability to spontaneously fabricate the worst fucking cover stories in the history of mankind.
What are you doing here?
I was just using the toilet.
What the hell are you doing here? What section you in?
I don't know. I was just hired.
What's your name?
Name is Kimball.
What the fuck are you doing here?
I was making a sandwich.
He's such a jerk. I wish he'd drop dead.
And the moral of the story is, never come between Bronson and his fucking sandwich.
I don't like mayonnaise.
With their workforce evaporating like Zynga's consumer base, the rival cartels decide to meet at the oil fields on the outskirts of LA to consolidate purposes. Little do they know that purpose is to be heinously murdered by Charles fucking Bronson.
It's a setup!
And evidently each other. Do not adjust your computer monitors, Rageaholics. That is in fact Charles Bronson, clad once again in his murder jacket, wielding a silenced fucking sniper rifle. There isn't a morgue in all of Christendom spacious enough to accommodate this fucking development. Bronson isolates the crown shitbag of the hour and stalks him as only he can.
Who are you?
I'm the guy that set you up.
Why?
Damn, that's a lot of Aquanet.
I don't even know the girl.
I do.
Fuck! fuck, I need a cigarette. Of course, his return to visit Daddy Chorebucks to deliver the good news doesn't quite go according to plan. Over the course of 3 Death Wish films, we've seen Bronson blow up cars by shooting them, looking at them, and railgunning the fuck out of them. But Charles Bronson is about to set an all-new precedent by destroying a car simply by sitting in the motherfucker.
Hey! Hey!
He wastes no time at all barging in Bob Hope's door and demanding answers.
What's the meaning of this?
I told you I wanted to see Nathan White.
I am Nathan White, and who the hell are you?
You? You're Nathan White?
I ought to know my own name.
Who was the man that was in here last week?
Oh, there was no one here last week. I've been in Europe for 3 months.
Of course, the imposter Bob Hope hasn't been resting on his laurels either.
As long as Kersey's breathing, he's dangerous.
You are officially the smartest motherfucker in the history of Death Wish. Of course, that streak comes to a violent halt the moment he decides the wisest course of action is to abduct another of Paul Kersey's loved ones. They meet in a parking garage and waste no time at all employing standard 80s action movie thug logic. This has never worked in the history of ever. You tried it on perpetually nude Universal Soldier Guy, John Matrix, and fucking Cobra, and all you got out of the deal was a California-sized crater with a note attached that read "The 80s were here." For the sake of your immediate family, drop your firearms and back the fuck away slow. And you're dead. Tuvok makes his first logical choice of the movie and bugs the fuck out at a whopping 10 entire miles per hour. You know, just to give the mustachioed engine of death a sporting chance. Bob Hope regains his status as smartest Death Wish fan by fleeing the fuck into a local skating rink populated by heavily armed goons, but alas, waiting to catch Paul Kersey unawares is like waiting for Kotaku to cite a fucking source. The goons appear to briefly recapture the upper hand. That is, until they make their fatal error by destroying a fucking Gravatar cabinet. Bob Hope flees into the LA night. No, by the way, this is still fucking Death Wish. You know, we've had the rape scene, the mandatorily deceased love interest, but for all its bluster, I still get the vague feeling we're lacking the hypotenuse in the Death Wish triangle. If only they were—
Rocket launcher!
Ah, there we are.
I warned you! I tell her!
Well, the bad guy's in 5 different zip codes, at least 2 cops are dead, and Paul Kersey gets the girl. His remains back to the mausoleum in time for supper. Face it, Rageaholics, this is as close as Death Wish will ever come to a happy ending. While its pauper's budget is readily apparent and particularly evident in the half-assed soundtrack, I have to confess to loving the shit out of Death Wish 4. The Crackdown may actually be my favorite film in this series, in fact. Between Bronson engaging in gunfights between Donkey Kong and Galaga cabinets, and a second act that I have to believe inspired IO Interactive's Hitman franchise, Death Wish 4 is a worthy sequel to both 2 and 3, and may well be the last truly great Bronson film, full stop. I'm Razorfist. Death!
What do you want?
You.
Hey, I didn't do nothing. Oh, come on, it's a business, man.
You don't do it, someone else will?
That's right.
How many?
How many what?
How many children have you killed with this shit?